I wasn't sure if this was my intro or not. Apparently it was.
You know, this is the way the link used to be. A lot of us didn't know it was written.
That's cool. I totally and completely dig it, 100%. Alrighty. I got some stuff to read for you. Is this on? Yeah, you can hear me? Okay. Not that I really need it, but... Alrighty. I can see my poems tonight. I had contact lens trouble last night, and I was like, I can't see.
Is that full contact lens?
Huh?
Full contact lens?
Full on, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Oh man, I love those.
I'm good tonight. I printed my poems out big. Anyway, thank you again to Diane for printing this lovely, beautiful book for me. You're golden, Diane. And thank you to all of you. I love Cleveland. I love all of you guys. So I'm going to shut the fuck up now and read poetry. Thank you.
You almost were going to get lucky. You kept it up.
Thank you for the best intro that I've ever had today, since I've been doing this thing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for thanking me.
No, thank you.
I'm glad you know how to drive.
Sometimes. George is glad too. All right. I guess I should read something from the book here.
Time's up.
This is called Blue Streak in the Blue Ridge. Yeah, I don't even know how much time you have.
You got some time.
Until someone says get the fuck up. Blue Streak in the Blue Ridge.
All right, that's enough.
I could hear those banjo strings echoing across those hills and valleys. She had a Blue Mountain sunset moan to her voice that made the coyotes blush. It was a strong moonshine accent that didn't need explaining or shaping by any Nashville music cats. She could belt it out there better than a cheerleader bent over a southern bar stool. Sundress swaying over 7 o'clock whiskey shots and a sleeping dog's tail in the mid-July twilight. Blonde hair brushed back to show that streak of blue that matched the mountaintops on sunset. She was plucking her strings just right, thinking of those porch swing tongue sessions and pickup truck bench seat fucks. There were cut green beans in a wicker basket just beside her naked inclinations for the alley cat hot baths in the old tin bucket with her brother's moonshine musing over her pine holler demons and lightning scarred fallen tree dreams. She was running on a deficit of moral values with the boys in town. They all trekked up the mountain pretty regularly though to bring her flowers and things. It was those things that got her writing those songs though, but you had to go up there to hear them though, because she hardly came down from that old place on the mountain. People thought she was a bit nuts. Turns out she was one of the sane ones in the great basket case of the world. I have a couple poems about mine and George's hometown area of Long Island.
Hey.
And Steve.
Yeah.
And Steve.
And Steve.
You were born somewhere?
No, you were from the Catskills.
I went up to the Catskills. Let me tell you about the Catskills.
Anybody else that was born on Long Island, so I don't offend anybody else. Sorry, Steve.
I was born on a Long Island.
I got to introduce you to this Long Island cat named Finn. He runs a radio show at the Stony Brook radio station.
He owes me money.
He kind of looks and sounds just like I was saying to George, like he reminds me of Finn. Anyway.
Why owe you money?
So this is called Titos Gone. It's about this this authentic British pub that closed after 36 years of hunting. And for Diane, this was the original version before I changed the names so that like I wouldn't get whacked by the mafia.
Cool.
Something's changed in that party town by the Long Island Sound. Tito's gone. He's left his room over the Mexican joint. He said goodbye to Augie, the owner with the racehorse farm and his bookies. Say goodbye to Augie Jr., too. Say goodbye to Angel, the fisherman, 5 doors down on the left, next to the room with the sweet, slinky, blonde hooker. He said goodbye to her, too. Say goodbye to Louie, the guitar player, in the room next to the metal spiral staircase leading down to the parking lot behind the old book review. Yeah, he's gone. He's out of here. He's out on the road again, looking for another gig, frying up those fish and chips, slapping those bangers and mash on some other people's plates in some other town. But not here. No, not here in the big hunt. Not here where the poets play in the old barn. Not here where the young crowd from Sapsuckers and Katie Mix meet at Rose's for pizza with the big fearsome Bronx Tale owner watching over them. No, not here where the pretty young girls strut down New York Avenue in their fuck-me heels and their North Shore boys in tow. No, no more at Tito's fresh crackly fries here for us because Billy's closed up shop. 36 years in this old town and Billy's called it a night. No more tales from that Cranberry bar. No more Franziskaner Weissbier Dunkel. Last call's been called, but old George, he'll be all right, sucking them down in that dive bar up the block. But I'll sure as hell miss fighting over the tartar sauce with my baby and dipping my chips in that old English mustard, because you know they had the real English mustard there. And I'll always remember stroking that cool, smooth oak wood table with the British pub feel on my fingers. I've noticed that like the texture of the paper from the hotel where I printed this out is not as slick as the paper I'm used to, so it's hard to get them apart. Okay. So this is another place out by us called Northport, where actually Jack Harrowitz spent a number of years. It's a little coffee shop with this guy, this older guy named Ray, plays the piano. When Ray plays, I want to play the way Ray plays. I don't want to get bogged down in rudimentaries and pleasantries. I don't want to learn all that slow recital stuff. No, I want to play the way Ray plays, because when Ray plays, he gets every boot and shoe tapping, every palm pounding, every hip pick pit, every hip pink panty swaying from Main Street to Montauk. And let me tell you, when those hips start swaying, well, those curves could crack carved stone on an Egyptian sarcophagus. Those high-heeled beauties, well, you can hear them singing and hollering and clicking those heels all the way to Times Square. And the way Ray wears that beret, well, I'll swear it comes flapping clean off his head before it plops back down against that beat of the swing jazz, before that piano bop thing. And let's not forget those old ragtime blues. He's got it all, old Ray. When he gets going, he can stand the ears up on an old hound dog. He can melt nail polish off a barmaid in a snowstorm. But that's not the whole deal. No, when he slows it down, oh yeah, he'll do that cocktail thing, all achy and mellow, smooth and sweet as summer blonde on a sandy slumber on a sun-bleached beach blanket. I mean, he rides the rails of sensual sadness right into the sidecar hearts of the sticky-fingered girls, overhearing the sultriness bleed out onto Main Street like the juice of a blood orange over "I'm too hot for you" cherry red lipstick lips. Oh yeah, he's a charmer, all right, with that long line of caress me ivories dancing under his fingertips. He knows he's got it. He knows that when those 100-year-old walls start to shake, the possibilities are endless, or at least it's pretty damn likely he'll hit one out of the park when the music's over in this old place.
Yeah. Yeah. You caught it right there, brother. You start catching that boy.
Should I do one or two more?
Oh, yeah. You should catch it. You got it
Just
now.
go until you stop. If you can't do it.
Okay.
Yeah, come on.
This one's not in the book. This is from somebody that used to love me but hates me.
Which one?
I know her.
Get any part.
I know of her.
I can say her name now because I'm in Cleveland and it won't get back to her.
Want that?
Stacy.
Stacy, yo. Really? Yo, guess what?
Hashtag Stacy.
This is the cool thing about reading in another city. You can do whatever you want. Like a cranberry headed for the juice jar. She came from the Piranha School of Diplomatic Relations. She was a steamroller. She'd roll right over your neck after she'd already made a wreck of your starry-eyed invitations. If you sat still, you could hear her coming like a June bug in July, creeping up the gnarly vines that make ice wine in January. She'd crush you like a cranberry headed for the juice jar. She'd light you up like a cigarette, then smoke you like a hot rod in a tricycle race. Her eyes were double-loaded buckshot, exchanging Saturday night saliva in a parking lot of misleading spaces. She was a construction site with faulty scaffolding. She'd raise you to new heights on a falling crane. She'd convince you of the validity of the insane reign of a corrupted runaway train. She was a candy-coated sword aimed straight at you in the medieval battlefield of your childhood nightmares. What she had was an uncanny sense of fuck you and a how do you do atmosphere. She'd suck the play out of the boy. She'd take the T and kill the bird. She'd steal the P and leave you longing for the B and J. But I gotta tell you, she was a damn good kisser, and even better with a zipper once you pinned it on 110 on that open road to nowhere.
Yeah.
I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'll read one more and then a very short one that Diane wanted me to read last night. I didn't read. All right. Sultry Tongues of the Swampland. This is my Louisiana Cajun swamp poem, where we're heading down to next month. I met her in Cajun Country, in the heart of the swamplands, where they eat boiled crayfish for breakfast. She had that sad-eyed lady of the lowlands look in her eyes. She had that indefinite sultriness of the steamy night in the kitchen of her language. She had the strings of Cajun fiddles in her veins and accordion rhythms on her tongue. She told me never to sleep under a full moon lest you become moon mad. She told me to hang a mirror on the front porch to keep the devil away. I couldn't fathom the depths of her incendiary incarnation. Her aura was a chili pepper mist rising up out of the smoky, wet Spanish moss in the mischievous moonlight. Her mysteries were hidden in the sanguine ripples of the setting sun, reflecting off of every backwater bayou, clear over to the balconies and balustrades the Acadians made, with the ghosts of sensuous Creole women's colorful thin dresses swaying under lonely wrought iron French streetlights in the quarter. She spoke of voodoo priests and priestesses with names like Queen Mary Bianca and Bloody Mary Milan, a Haitian holy man who threw off his coat like James Brown threw off his cape. There were snake dancers and sequin flag makers, people who came out just to see the boa constrictor Ava K. Jones used to bring victory to the saints. There were naked body parts waving in the breeze, begging for blessings from the crew of Zulu. All this time I could sense from the touch of her skin that she had a velvet sensitivity for everything I was thinking. My thoughts rolled down off her tropical feathery waves of hair like a firefly hitching a ride on a piece of driftwood in the backwood creeks where the catfish clamor for some understanding between daylight and the possibility of finding some meaning in the ominous, heavy, isolating air of Louisiana darkness. I looked at her, almost blending in with the gnarled cypress trees and beaver leaves, and said, "How'd you come to look so sad?"
Ooh, nice.
All right, one more. I wrote this after the death of Nelson Mandela. Oh, Madiba, Madiba, they held your feet to the flames. You were born Holy Shaza, that means troublemaker in your home tongue. Madiba, Madiba, they couldn't keep you away from the cold of concrete, but you stuck it to them with a smile. You brought the whole enchilada to the rest of the world. Every country flipped them off like a New York pizza pie thrown right in their eye. That's a lot of amore, Madiba. Madiba, Madiba, you brought South Africa to a fever. What kind of Cheerios were you eating? I couldn't conceive her. You didn't give a shit Reagan called you a terrorist, but you let Uncle Sam know he wasn't at the top of your list. Madiba, Madiba, 90,000 sung in the rain in Soweto. Madiba, you done your part. Now Obama's in deep with the wife for flirting with the prime blonde of Denmark. You stroked the flames of equality, rode that bitch all the way to the heavens, and took that moral arc of the universe and bent it right up their asses. Madiba.
Good deal. Damn.
Thanks, guys.